Welcome to History Explained, where we illuminate the past to better understand our present. I'm your guide for this weekly journey, 7 days of global change in under 7 minutes. Today is Thursday, July 10, 2025, and this is Cultural Insights, where we explore the traditions, ideas, and creative expressions that shape the week behind us. This week, culture emerged as both battleground and bridge, from ancient temples to viral language campaigns, from dance floors to diplomatic halls. We begin in Cambodia, where on July 3, the UNESCO World Heritage Committee approved emergency funding to protect Angkor Wat's outer structures from accelerated erosion caused by rising water tables. The move follows new satellite data showing destabilization of temple foundations due to groundwater extraction and climate shifts. This isn't just a heritage site, it's a cultural symbol for an entire nation. The effort echoes the international scramble to preserve Venice or the Bamiyan Buddhas, reminders that what we build to last still depends on how we live today. In France, July 4th saw the opening of the Avignon Festival, where for the first time in its 78-year history, the lead production was performed entirely in Occitan, a regional language spoken in southern France. The performance, an adaptation of Antigone, drew both acclaim and debate. Much like the revival of Welsh, Hawaiian, or Maori, this moment reflects a growing global effort to preserve and re-empower regional languages, even as globalization threatens to flatten linguistic diversity. Meanwhile, in Brazil, a powerful new cultural movement made headlines. On July 1st, indigenous artists from 12 tribes launched Vozes da Floresta, an immersive traveling exhibition featuring music, textiles, and digital media. Debuting in São Paulo, the show directly challenges mainstream portrayals of indigenous peoples as relics of the past. It's an echo of the native art resurgence in North America during the 1980s, and a signal that cultural reclamation isn't just symbolic, it's political, generational, and creative. In South Korea, a national survey released on July 5 revealed that Hallyu, or Korean wave, exports surpassed traditional heavy industry exports for the first time in recorded history. Music, film, fashion, and digital content now rival semiconductors and shipbuilding. It's a pivot decades in the making, rooted in cultural policy dating back to the 1990s. The rise of Korean soft power recalls the emergence of American jazz in the 1920s or Japanese anime in the 1980s, a reminder that global influence isn't always carried by soldiers or trade routes. Sometimes, it's sung. And finally, in Kenya, July 6th marked the 30th anniversary of the Mombasa Declaration on Swahili Cultural Preservation. To celebrate, youth-led organizations across East Africa launched a week-long Speak Swahili Social Challenge, encouraging millions to use Swahili exclusively on social media. Participation exploded across Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and the diaspora. Like the Arabic language Twitter boom during the Arab Spring or Ireland's #Welga Challenge, this initiative shows that language can be both a form of resistance and connection, living, digital, and global. From ancient temples to youth hashtags, this week's Cultural Insights remind us that tradition isn't static, it's an ongoing conversation. One shaped by those who remember, resist, remix, and renew. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Cultural Insights. If these stories sparked your curiosity, subscribe, share, and tell us in the comments. Which of this week's cultural moments do you think future generations will remember? Tomorrow, we shift to economic milestones, the policies, crises, and innovations shaping how the world creates and shares wealth. Until then, I'm your guide for History Explained, where understanding yesterday is the key to navigating tomorrow.